Stargazer Lily. Ray, bless you. You are on top of it. Stargazer Lily. We simply must. Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. What a way to start a stream, kids. Hey, look at that. Maybe we should start with a little Dodgers. There we go. Little jammy Dodgers. One of these days I'm gonna clean up all that shit behind her, but today was not that day. Hi. Hello. I don't know what the hell we're doing tonight. Well, I mean, I do. And it's going to involve a Stargazer Lily, but I don't have like a plan per se. So my unplan for the day is basically to make y'all choose my manny. Because I got naked nails and it's time to stream. My hair looks great, thank you. Thank you very much. It's considerably less crazy than when the stylist did it. She did a very funky fashion with it. It looked super cool. I do not own a blow dryer, and so I am unable to make it do what she made it do. It's not true. I actually do. I own a blow dryer, but it's it's this crazy. It's like a brush on a wand. It looks like a massive. Never mind. Never mind what it looks like. It's huge, and it has a brush built into the blower head that isn't removable, and the airflow is very diffused, and so it's actually perfect for like after I dye my hair, when my hair is a little bit longer than it is now, and I freshly dyed it, and I want to make sure it's thoroughly dry. It's perfect for that, and that's the only time I blow dry my hair. And so I do not own. Well, I'm not sure that it is for curly hair, because like I said, like you can't, there's no way to use it without it being an actual brush. It's not like the round diffuser head that has the little prongs on it. It's literally like a brush head that is also gently blowing some warm air out of the brush. Like literally imagine a brush that blows a little bit of warm air out of it. It's weird. It's a weird thing. Brian found it for me some years ago, and yeah, it's not good for what I would need to be able to do with it. But like I've had such short hair for so many years, owning something like a blow dryer has never really seemed particularly useful for me. So I haven't until Brian bought me that one, and now it's like, I can't use it for this. So, but that's fine, because I feel like this is more sort of me most of the time anyway, just having something that's a little more sort of chill. I do need to redo the dye job though. She's a little faded. I never like to dye it before I know I'm getting it cut, because the way that I dye it might change slightly based on the actual cut itself. So yeah, I usually wait until afterward. Yeah, and that too, Kat, I don't necessarily want to style it the way that they do at the salon all the time, although it is a really fun style and I would like to have the ability to do it that way sometimes. But yeah, it certainly would not be a daily sort of a thing for me. Thank you, Ray. And welcome Marie as well. Yeah, so I have here a question mark on my silicone mat because the it's a mystery what we're doing today besides looking at the cat and talking about my hair. Um you gonna manny with me? Yay. Yay. Everybody do your nails. That's a command. No, it's not. It's not. But it's an invitation. Um so yeah, what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, there's two ways that I was thinking about doing this. One would be that each nail gets decided separately and it's like a complete chaos skittle, which could be fun. Or two, we decide on the base for all the nails right at the beginning and like decide on the theme if there's going to be a theme. And I could have like polls for each thing or just get people to shout out what they want to see. So like if you want me to do a magnetic base or if you want a total skittle or if you want stamped stuff or, you know, hand painted or whatever. Y'all know I can muddle my way through all the things. So, you know, it's going to be up to y'all. You doing your nails too? Hey Sylvia, welcome. So yeah, I guess that's the first question is, do we want to do like have each nail be its own distinct decision tree or do we want the whole mani to happen in one decision tree? So that's question 1. Is that a clear, does everybody understand what that question is? You want Chaos Skittle with some old polishes? I'm down with that. How old is old? I mean, I only have things that are a few years old. I didn't start collecting that long ago. One Night Stand really stuck by its name. Didn't you do that, Manny, like earlier today, Kat? That's not even One Night Stand. That's like it's a friggin' pay by the hour hotel. That's what that is. You saw the theme for Little Box of Horrors is bugs and thought of me. Yeah, I actually, I one of the polishes in there, the BCB polish, Now Watch Me Whip, is actually inspired by one of my pets that lives in the closet right over there. Well, actually, the specific animal that was in the photo that I sent to her for inspo actually passed away a couple of years ago, but some of her relatives are in that closet, and so yeah, very psyched about that. But yeah, that's true, Ray. The polish world moves fast. 3 years is a long time. I definitely like, I'm trying not to look at the Little Box of Horrors because I can't really afford to buy any polish right now. So I'm like, oh my God, it's bugs. Oh, you used the One Night Stand yesterday and today? Poured some into your DIY blend. That'll probably help make it a little bit better. The DIYs I find, at least my DIY, I find is actually better than the store bought stuff that I've had. So yeah, so I have done this little question mark in honor of tonight's I don't know what I'm doing chaos. So it's actually not a spider, Sylvia. It's one of the common names for it is whip spider. It's the simplest common name for it, but they're not actually spiders. They're arachnids. They're called amblypygi. And they're like as closely related to scorpions as they are to spiders. They don't make any webbing. They don't have any venom. They're a completely different kind of arachnid. And they're super cute and cool. So, yeah. And if you have any questions about bugs, you can always harass me. Slide into my DMs. I'll talk to you about bugs. Okay, so I heard Ray wants a chaos skittle. Is everybody good with a complete total chaos skittle where we treat each individual nail as its own piece of chaos? Is that acceptable to everybody? That was a fairly satisfying little peel there. Lost a little piece because it's still a bit wet. Always chaos? Okay. All right. So that means we're going to be choosing a different base color for every finger. So I'm guessing we'll probably only get through my left hand if we're doing full total chaos, because it will be a little bit of a slower process, I imagine, depending on what y'all choose. So let's start with just the left hand. And either pick some, either a specific polish that I have, if you happen to know my collection, which some of you actually do have a pretty good handle on what I have. If you don't know my collection, you can just say that you want like a blue flaky with reflective, and I'll see what I can find. So there's few enough of us here that we can just kind of let people choose individual chaos. You would love to see a picture of my pet. Sylvia, I would say if you go to my Instagram page and either go to the post that I did of that polish and scroll through the photos, you can see the actual picture that inspired it. Or you can go to my other Instagram that is my science Instagram, my science art Instagram, which is the Vexed Muddler. And that one has a bunch of photos and some video of different species of amblypyge. Ray suggests the first polish from each of my first indie/mainstream brands. Kat suggesting older Dam multichrome magnetic. Okay, so my first indie/mainstream brands. I believe I started with Fun Lacquers, which I may have destashed those, but let me check. Hang on, we're gonna... Wait, yeah, you're still on Cat. I just want to make sure you're still on Cat Cam. Oh my god, I have a couple of ancient Revlons. Oh, I got some Canadiana here. Hang on. Okay, hold up. This is a Canadian drugstore polish. And so are these. And then these ones are Revlons. These were among my first polishes. And I'm gonna see if I have any of those fun magnetics still. If I do, they will be in this box. It seems that I do not. I must have destashed those. Okay, so It seems like we should use at least one of my Canadian drugstore brands, right? So this one is more toppery, but you can do it on its own. And then these two obviously are cremes. These are from Joe Fresh, which is part of Loblaws, which is a grocery store. Yeah, right. It's Quo, which is what is this from Shoppers Drug Mart? I think it's a Shoppers Drug Mart polish. Yeah, it's Shoppers Drug Mart. So got that at a Shoppers Drug Mart in Toronto. So I have those, and then I have a couple of Revlons. I've got I don't even know. They don't seem to have names. They just have numbers. Oh wait, no, they have names on top. Amethyst Smoke and Chameleon. So there's some Revlons. So those are like my earliest polishes from before I started collecting indies. Now, I think the next thing I had was Fun, and then Hello Taco started up. Maybe I got a couple of Cirques and Island Peas before then. But the Cirque that I got before then, I've definitely used a shitload of. And the Fun, I think I have destashed. So there's those ones. Older Damn Multichrome Magnetic. Let me see. Oh boy. Of course they're not sorted. Alright. I have Parallel Possibilities and Cosmic Chaos from Dam or Dom, if you prefer. So those are from the Multiverse collection. And then Sassy's asking, do I have HT Frostlight? I think so. Don't I? I must. I must have that. That's the light blue glitter? Is it? I forget. If I don't have it, then it means I destashed it. I got Rainbow Snow, I got Gold Play Button, I got Midnight Spark, and I got whatever the hell that pink one is. Oh, Frostlight. Found it. Alright, I have Frostlight. I got Frostlight. Jammy is snoring. Alright, let's switch over here to the nails. Okay, so we got Frostlight. We got a couple of Dom options. So there's the green with the pink, and there's the red with the green, or orangey red. And then I got a couple of Revlons. And then the Joe Fresh Cremes and the Quo. So, if we need 5 of these for a Skittle, which 5 are we using as for our bases? Najwa, hello, welcome. All right, it seems like we've got some agreement on Frostlight. Oh my God, this needs some thinner. Okay, let me do a little remediation before we start anything here. Don't worry though, I'll be able to get it. It'll be fine. I think I'm gonna have to do a combination of thinner and base though. The Revlons go nice with the Doms. The Quo and Frostlight can be toppers. Yeah, maybe that might work. Let me just see about resuscitating this thing before we go any further. Glamour base and I got Luster base. Which of those is for glitters again? Is it Glamour that's for glitters or Luster that's for glitters from TKB? Oh, it says. Glamour is for glitter in a clear finish. That's the one I want. Okay. Normally I just add just thinner to revive a polish, but when it's this dried up and thick, adding a little bit of suspension base can really help keep the consistency nice, because while the ethyl acetate and butyl acetate are the primary solvents, they are not the only solvents. They're just the ones that make up most of the solvent and evaporate the fastest. So adding the base just helps add in all those other things that evaporate a little more slowly, and it helps keep the consistency a little nicer. Yeah, I always forget, Kat, whether the mica suspension or the glitter suspension is the cloudy one. I don't know why I forget that. Like, it should be obvious, but for some reason my brain doesn't love remembering that. Okay. I think we still want a little more thinner here. And also, we want to blow my nose. Holy cow. I was feeling like I was about to sneeze there. Okay, a little more thinner. Like, the fact that there's like a serious fill line on this bottle and I've probably only used it like twice should be all the indication that anyone needs about how much this thing has evaporated. You lost the tip of a nail today. Gardening. Yes, post your before and after. This is still a little too thick. I have to open a new thinner. I killed that thinner. Hey, Sonyo. Welcome. I'm just I'm getting ready to do some chaos, and they decided on Frostlight as one of the components, but my Frostlight is like the most evaporated. So I'm having to do a little bit of therapy on my Frostlight, and I ran out of thinner, so now I gotta open up a new thinner. Alright. Oh shit, I just got nail polish on that. There we go. Oh my god, I have thinner all down my hand. It's like running down my wrist. Awesome, awesome. Were you not closed or something? Were you like not sealed properly? What the fuck? What is happening here? Oh yeah, that wasn't closed properly. There we go. I've got thinner all over my hands now. Love that. These droppers that come with the KB Shimmer Restoration Drops bottles, I don't use them for the thinner, but I do use them to make my DIY acetone antidote. So I'm just going to set this aside for that. Because I need a little dropper for that. And it needs to be like solvent resistant because I also use it to mix. Sassy, you chose Frostlight because you don't have it. I'm so sorry you don't have it. Yes, it smells delicious, right? Okay, I think this should be better now. Let's see. That is looking probably paintable. I might have thinned it slightly more than I should have, but I think it's okay. It should be fine. You use a glass one for your thinner? That makes sense. All of my stories are very Canadian stories, Sanyo. I'm very Canadian. I don't know if you knew this about me. But it turns out that when you're Canadian, everything you do and say is Canadian by definition. I'm just going to let that sit a little bit because I think I did add a tiny bit too much thinner to it. Okay, so are we going to do Frostlight and Quo as toppers? Is that what you're thinking? Or are you thinking... Maybe we should do some testing here. Let's do some testing. I need to clean this off. Hang on. These are some of my new haul from Cracked that I got, and I freaking love them. Oh my goodness. I'm like very much enjoying the Cracked cremes and jellies. Oh, that blue is going to be a stainer. Yeah. If it's staining the mat that badly, it's for sure going to stain my nails. I'm looking forward to that. I'll have to remember to only use that one on my other hand. What was I testing? They're some Cracked cremes and jellies that I bought during their last sale, and I don't remember the names of any of them. You're still stained from Holotaco's flakies from over a month ago? Yeah. Okay, so these are the Revlons, which are obviously going to take a few coats because those look pretty thin. And then the Doms. I do think these could potentially go well together. Like that one seems like it kind of goes well with the Chameleon. I wonder if this one will work okay with the Amethyst. We might accidentally happen into a semi-cohesive nail polish event. No, those don't really go together. They can kind of go, I guess. They're not the worst. Now I want to see how these guys topper. Najwa, you emptied a Bluebird cuticle oil bottle that you're going to try and put your thinner into, so the dropper is perfect for thinner. Oh, nice. I have not tried the Bluebird cuticle oil. I'm very cautious about trying cuticle oils from various companies because, well, a lot of them only do scented ones, and I can't really do most scents. I have to be very careful with it, because otherwise I will end up with potentially rashes and such, which is no fun. But now I have like a giant thing of cuticle oil that I mixed. That's like jojoba oil and vitamin E oil and a little bit of tea tree oil. And I like it, so. Okay, so if we were going to do Frostlight as a topper, which is kind of a crazy concept, but let's try it out. We'll just see how that works. You know what? I'm not mad at it. I don't think it goes as well over these two, but it goes surprisingly well over this. It actually looks really good over this Revlon, over the Amethyst Smoke. All right, and I'm going to try the Quo over the other one. Hang on. Yeah, that looks like weirdly good over the amethyst smoke. I kind of dig that, y'all. Let me shake this, because this has got like two different kinds of... There's like a finer shimmer and a heavier glitter. They're both, like, neither of them is like, you know, large, but one is a little bigger than the other. And when they settle out, the thinner or the smaller particle ones tend to be on top. All right. I think this is like a... I think it's like got hollow in it, but then also maybe an iridescent shimmer. I'm not sure. That's what it looks like. Oh, you got the Bluebird Christmas Advent? They do nice advents. Cat had their advent for oh my god, why is my brain like this? They had a Hanukkah advent a couple of years ago that Cat got. Yeah, I think it's iridescent microflake plus hollow. I think that's exactly it, right? Ray. Okay, so this side is the Quo, and this side is Frostlight, or is it the other way around? Oh my god, no, it's the other way around. This side is Frostlight, this side is Quo. I mean, they both kind of work. I do feel like Frostlight works better on these two. I don't know. What do y'all think? Oh, was it Halloween? Didn't they do a Hanukkah one? Oh, Alchemy and Red Eye did Hanukkah. Okay. Well, you know, if my brain was attached, you would have a lot less fun making fun of me, so... The Boo Bird Halloween one was very good, though. Yes, I remember that. I have a couple of those. So, what do we want to do? Make some decisions, y'all. Call it from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the base. And either Frostlight or Quo for the topper. Or do we want to do 1 and 2 with Quo as a topper and 3 and 4 as with Frostlight as a topper? What do y'all want to do? There's also the Joe Fresh. Ray says, I think Frostlight works better, but I want you to use the Quo. Frostlight over the Amethyst Revlon. Maybe the other... Oh, the other hand can be the Canadian hand! Okay. This is the way. Ray... This is the way. This hand, Joe Fresh, and as a topper over Quo. I think that's the way to do it. And then this hand, we can do Frostlight over the purple Revlon. Is that what I'm hearing? I got a couple of people saying Frostlight over the purple Revlon for this hand. And then we can... The chaos part can be more in the nail art part of things. Does that work for people? Okay. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna turn that light on, even though it doesn't do much. It does for some stuff, but not for live stream, I think. The Revlon brush, by the way, why? Why are you going to be like this? This is the worst brush. I hate it. This is part of why I don't buy mainstreams. I literally own 2 Revlons and hate them so much that I never purchased another one. Sassy, you agree because I was so happy about Canadian Hand? Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's weirdly long as well as being skinny. Like why? Why is it like that? It doesn't help. It doesn't help for it to be long as well as skinny. It makes it harder to control. Like why would you do that to people? I guess like maybe it can. Oh, we got a cat hair on there. Oh boy. Oh boy. I guess maybe like because it's so long, it can like hold more polish along its length. I don't know. That's the only reason I can think of to have it like that. Jesus, my goodness, that got yucky. All right. This is why I don't buy Revlon. Kevin says, hi. Hi, Kevin. Jill, who is the owner of Prism Polish, has a little girl whose name I don't know. But she has been getting interested in bugs lately. And they've been doing some bug stuff at school. And so we were talking about bugs today, and I thought of you and Kevin. Because bugs are cool. And it always makes me happy when I know about kids being interested in bugs. Some cat, and when I say some cat, I mean Jammy Dodgers, has managed to like fill my nose with cat hair. Jammy was on my lap earlier getting pets, and I swear I'm like, I can feel cat hair. And I can't escape it because it's like on my shirt and floating in the air, and it's on my arm and on my hand. I swear. Fucking cats, man. Why are they like this? I'm sorry if Kevin hears swear words, but I can't help you with that. Do as mom says, not as her friends do. All right. So for the other hand, I'm thinking I'll like alternate between these two. Also note the colors on top. I didn't have a better way to swatch out the colors. And it looks like I was testing some of the Holo Taco, the flaky toppers, the unicorn skins on top of these at some point in time. Which I think is very funny. All right, we'll see how bad these are. I don't actually remember how bad they are to apply. I'm sure they're not good though. Oh yeah, we got a little square brush. A little short, fat, freaking cap that I have to hold. It's like just fat enough to be annoying to hold. Oh yeah. Oh, that's some exquisite application. It's like extra good on my other hand because I'm so bad at painting with it. That's okay. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get there. It'll be fine. I think I bought these for my toenails. Might have been when we went to. It would have been when either the Mexico trip or the Florida trip. And I don't remember which. Yeah, it's a really bad brush. And it's like not a great formula. Like nobody's recommending Joe Fresh polish to anybody for any reason. But, you know, I was there. It was probably on sale. It was good colors. And like, honestly, at least in the drugstores that I went to, The color options were typically like a lot of nudes and reds and pinks and the occasional glitter. But like real boring glitters like the Quo. So actually the Quo is like a shockingly good glitter. I remember seeing that and being like, holy shit, I think that's real hollow. What the hell? Because you never really see that in, at least in the Canadian ones. Starting into torture, I'll be with terrible brushes and formulas day. Yeah. I mean, y'all knew that was going to be the case when you decided to do my oldest mainstreams and drugstore and indies, right? Yeah, I think the white pigment in the robin's egg is definitely making it much worse. The red is not as bad. It's not really, I wouldn't call it red. It's like slightly too corally to be red. All right, let's see if we can do a better job with our second coat here. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves slightly. There we go. It's a little streaky. And by a little, I mean a lot. She's a streaky bitch. But, you know, we got it on there. Like canned cherry? Kind of. It's got a maraschino-ish kind of quality to it. I don't know. It seemed like a kind of a good color combo with the sort of seafoamy, robin's eggy kind of color. I was just excited to find something in the bluish realm, to be honest. Because there basically was never anything like that. I have heard about people being able to get fun colors in Canadian drugstores. Even back when I got these, which again, not that long ago. These would have been like slightly pre-pandemic. Like 2018, 2019, something like that. 2018, I think. Cherry Jello. What is it that makes canned cherry that weird shade? I don't know. Red dye number 40 or something. Yeah. Anyway, I, even as recently as 2018, it might even have been 2017 when I got the Joe Fresh ones, was never able to find colors like this in any of the shops that I went to. So I was very excited to get my hands on these. When I saw them, I was like, ooh, yes. And of course, being in Canada at that point in time, I had no idea indies even existed. I was not in the nail polish world at all. Actually, at the time that I got the Joe Fresh ones, I hadn't even discovered Holo Taco yet, I think. Yeah, because I was still with the ex, and all of that kind of came after we split up, I think. Or shortly before we split up. So, yeah. I had no idea about indies, that they even existed. I had no idea about nail art. I just knew that if you're going on a vacation somewhere warm in the winter, you gotta get your toenails done. So I did my toenails. Boy, this is really bad. This is even worse than I remember. Probably because I haven't used it in a really long time and I was only ever using it on my toenails. Yeah, I don't think I've ever walked into a Sephora. Essie had okay range in some stores occasionally. However, if you were in downtown Toronto, right near the student area, the nail polish section was always incredibly picked over. So it may be the case that if I had gone more often and been more diligent about checking for fun polish, I could have found something cool. But I didn't know that was a thing that you would need to do. All right, the reds are okay. The blue is really dreadful. My goodness, that's awful. I'm debating whether I do a third coat or just top coat it, or rather, use the quo on top of it and hope that smooths it out. I think we just hope the topper smooths it out. I think that's probably the way to do it. In comparison, the Revlon is not looking so bad, y'all. Which is kind of pathetic, because it's bad. All right, Frostlight, and then we'll talk nail art. Are we putting something else on this? Or is this going to be like the simplest ever mani that I've ever done in a stream? Y'all can't leave with this level of chaos, because this is not chaos. This is just a not terrible combo. I don't hate that. Of course, given what we've already done, it seems like we've kind of limited ourselves to either something stamped or something hand painted. We'll definitely have nail art. Okay. I hope y'all are thinking about it. I know we've got that lily that we're supposed to do for Ponks. We had a special request on Discord for a lily. Look at that sporkle. So sporkle. So sporkle. Are you aimed as well as you can be? Yeah, I guess you are. I went with a dinosaur ring today, a T-Rex ring, because I just felt like it suited the chaos mood. And then kitties on this hand. Pick a random plate from my collection blindly. Sassy wants some gnomes. Oh my. Maybe we do a random plate for the Canadian hand, since Ray seems to be in charge of the Canadian hand. All right, let's see if we can fix this up a little bit with this topper. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. Once you put the quo on top, it's not bad. Iris? Iris what? Are you suggesting an iris? Like the flower? You're leaning toward a floral hand. That would have to be hand painted though. Any flowers, pretty much, any specific flowers would probably need to be hand painted. I don't think I have like an iris plate. That is not a barrier, by the way. We can totally do hand painting. I don't think I have irises on a stamp plate. I don't actually have that many stamp plates that I'm willing to use on stream. Because most of my stamp plate collection predates the self-outing of the shitty stamping plate company a few years back. So I don't use their products or speak their name publicly because I don't want to give any attention to them and possibly accidentally direct anyone to spend money with them. Because I care about reproductive rights. So yeah, my stamping plate collection is fairly slender. Yeah. Yeah, thankfully I do a lot of hand painting, and I'm very comfortable doing a lot of hand painting, and that's completely fine for me. So, we have a base. I am going to do some top coat here. Which top coat do I want? Let's do this one. Yeah, Kat. I will still use those plates. I use them when I'm not streaming or filming. And then, if I post the mani that I did with them, I just don't name them. I don't name them or tag them. So, yeah. Because I don't want to just have it and never use it and have it just take up space. And I don't want to donate it and potentially give them, get somebody else interested in that and then, get a new customer for them through a donation, And I don't want to sell them because I don't want to make money off of them. So it's kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'll just continue wearing them, but then or using them, but just not give them any credit for it. Okay. There's one hand top coated. And then we'll do the other hand, and then we'll go see what plates I have. Sassy has already mentioned the gnome plate. And Ray has suggested a chaos selection. So we might just see which flowers will go better with, whether it will go better with the gnomes or whether it will go better with the chaos selection. We can always do a mix of stamping and hand painted. That is an option. We have the technology, y'all. Yeah, it's totally not an issue for you because you're not posting in public anyway, so. Okay. Oh, jeez, that stinks. Okay. Hang on. Trying to get rid of some cat hair that I'm confident is in my nose. I swear. The cat hair is such a problem. All right. Oh boy. Now my nails are wet, and I need to try to wrestle my plates out from behind my laptop without without wrecking my nails. So you look at Jammy Dodgers while I figure that out. I have dinged a nail already. I'm like, I dinged that now. Oh, stop it. Focus on that. Berg. I really need a better place for my stamping plates. Because this is not working. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Whew. Let me tell you, that was a challenge. I dinged 2 nails. I dinged 2 nails, and I almost dropped all of my stamping plates, and I almost dropped my laptop. So, first of all, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. Somebody tell me which section I should pull a random plate from. 1 through 6. First one I see, I'll take. Three. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now, in this section, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plates. 1 through 7. Someone other than Ray. Chimkin wings. Plate 1 through 7. Who's gonna pick it? Ray, I'm sorry, but I did say someone other than Ray. Najwa was first with 7. Okay, so plate 7 is that one in that section. All right, so this is going to be one of the plates that I will use for my Canadian hand. Okay. Sassy, you're getting gnomes for my other hand. And I just fucking dinged this finger. I like jammed it right up against the ground. So this is going really well. It's going really well, y'all. Okay. Let me find the gnomes. Gnomes for Sassy. You're not gnomes. There's gnomes. All right, and then let me see if I have lilies or irises, because there were requests for both of those. You're botanical. You do not belong in that section. You belong in that section. Okay. Oh my goodness. Somehow all my space stuff ended up in my botanical section. This is incorrect. I just dinged another nail. It's so good. I'm doing such a good job, y'all. How did you end up with 2 cats that are terrified of the indoors? You're just lucky. Okay. I have Lily of the Valley. I have daffodils, daisies, gladiolus. No irises on there. No irises on there. That's just all leaves. I might have to freehand flowers. Unless there's something on the stained glass plate. We got various birds. I think that's a rose. That's a bee. That's a... I don't know what that is. It's not an iris or a lily, though. It's not looking good. It looks like I'm going to have to freehand for the flowers. So, should the flowers go in with the gnome, or should the flowers go in with the random plate? I'm kind of feeling random plate, the like lacy random draw one. I feel like that makes more sense to me. What do y'all think? It's okay that we dinged everything because we're going to be stamping over top of it and it's going to be fine. We'll just cover it with stamping and such. It'll be fine. Okay. Freehand and stamping, yes. Can I make the gnomes hold a flower? I mean, I could, yeah. Like, I could do something like this one here that's, hang on, let me switch over. Sorry, Jamming Dodgers. So, like, there's one here that's holding a balloon. That could easily be turned into a flower. Same with this one here that's holding a balloon. Super easy. This guy is holding up, I don't know, a list or something. That I could just take that part off and add a flower. So, yeah, there's a few different options here for ones where... This guy is also holding some flowers or some balloons. There's a bunch that are holding balloons. So lots of options for having a gnome hold something that isn't a balloon. So if we want a gnome holding flowers, heck yeah, gnomes holding flowers. All right, done. Sold. I'm just cleaning off these guys. I'm going to clean off the gnome plate as well. So is it going to be all gnomes holding flowers? Is that going to be like the entire mani is gnomes holding flowers? Or is it just going to be like a couple? Other people are allowed to have opinions too. Even though Sassy came up with the base idea, other people are allowed to pitch in with ideas. I just don't want anyone to think that you're not allowed to because Sassy's come up with the core concept here. It's fine. We can be collaborative. We can all pitch in together. Gnomes holding flowers. I think some can be just gnomes or just flowers. It's Sassy and Ray show. Y'all. All right. Okay, so for the random plate, there are 6 different designs on the random plate. 1 through 6. Ray has already done a lot of selections. Sassy has done some selections. Who has not done some selections? Najwa selected something. Maymay, give me a number between 1 and 6. How about that? Or somebody else that hasn't yet. First person that hasn't picked something yet. That puts something in the chat. 1 through 6. I know, Ray, you're trying so hard to be good. I can see it. You're doing a great job. 4? All right. Mei with 4. So that is this one right here. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. I see some swirlies. I see... I don't know. I don't know what that is, but it's kind of cute. And then what color do we want to do this design in? Do we want to do like a simple like black or white or a dark color? I've got a bunch of different colors we can do for this. Anybody can pitch in with ideas here for what color you think would work. And then Sassy, you want all the gnomes be holding flowers? And I think Ray said just gnomes or just flowers. Does anybody else have an opinion on that? Because I kind of like the idea of having a mix, but I'm willing to do all. Kat's new stamping polishes are so pretty. I haven't seen them, I don't think. Do I have any shimmers? Shimmers are not going to stamp, or not going to look good over this. I would do a solid creme or possibly like silver or gold at most, but otherwise it's going to get lost. Most of my cremes are opaque enough that they will stamp. So like, it's not that you can't stamp with shimmers, you totally can. It's just that the base is already a shimmer, and stamping a shimmer over a shimmer tends to just kind of get lost, in my opinion. Silver? Okay. Silver stamping polish. Ray, are you having a hard time not opining about everything? Should we test it? Do you want to test this out on a mat and see how the silver looks before making an ultimate decision? Or are you good with silver? I'm seeing silver is good. Let's just do a quick test. Let's just make sure that we're happy with it. So I think if we're not going to like it on anything, it's going to be on the lighter color. I agree. I think silver would be cool with it, but let's just test and make sure that it works okay. I'm a fan of testing. Testing is good. It's my handwriting from the previous stream in which we were trying, in which my brain was having a hard time figuring out. This is actually not a public stream. This was a very private stream in which I was painting naughty words, which did end up getting posted, but the private stream was entertaining. Okay. Ray is being a good bean, unlike you, because Micro Center restocked graphics cards. Ooh. That's a good reason to be naughty. All right. Do I have any... No, of course I didn't bring out any stampers. Why would I grab stampers? Why would I ever want to be prepared in any way, shape, or form? Y'all. Poof. Okay. That's actually pretty cool. I think that works all right. What do y'all think? Good with this color? Thank you, Sassy. Yes, I really liked that, Manny. It was fun. I'm not going to say the word here because we are in a live stream and Kevin may still be awake. It is very shiny. It looks really cool. Okay. All right, so we will do that. And let's see. I can probably get away with just and the gnomes are going to take a little bit more work, so I'm going to do them afterward because I feel like since I'm going to have more of a variety and also going to have to do some freehanding, and I feel like this is also going to probably involve a certain amount of reverse stamping for the gnomes and flowers. It's going to be a little more complex. So we'll do that one after we've kind of got this one sorted out. All right. Where's my thingy? And then that thingy. And then this thingy. So many thingies. We are all thingies all the time here. Oh boy. All right. I have been playing on the Switch a little too much lately. A cute little game called Palia, which I am slightly obsessed with. It's like kind of a perfect game for me. 'Cause like there's stuff, there's like, you know, goals and shit. Just like, you know, stuff you're technically supposed to do. But also you can just run around like gathering flowers and fishing and hunting and like getting resources. And that's really like 90% of what I want out of a video game. Is just the ability to spend some time gathering resources. And I understand that that's probably not the average person's primary goal when they're gaming, but I figured out about myself a long time ago that one of my favorite things to do, like in Skyrim and, you know, those kinds of games, is just resource gathering. Just hoarding vast amounts of resources and then like crafting, learning crafting stuff and going through crafting trees. That's what I want to do. Play Valheim with you? I don't even know what that is. Like, I've heard the name, probably because I think that's an actual Norse myth thing. You min-max, but resource gathering is a mood. I am absolutely not interested in min-maxing. I have negative interest in min-maxing. I don't want to look things up and like learn a system and try to optimize anything ever. Certainly not for video games. Zero interest in that. I just want to turn my brain off and hit some rocks with a pickaxe. I should check out Fae Farm. What's Enshrouded? What's Valheim? You gotta talk to me about these things. Like, what are they? House building and farming resource gathering. Are these on Switch? Because it either has to be on the Switch or it has to be on Mac. Because And not everything is. Like, there's Steam for Mac, but, like, not all the games are available on Steam for Mac. One of your friends literally just logs on and chops wood for hours to relax after work. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the vibe. That's what I want to do. Which is hilarious. Because if I, like, if chopping wood was like a chore that I needed to do for my home, I would not want to do that. I would not want to, like, go and chop wood for hours. Even if my body were capable of chopping wood for hours, which I am confident it is currently not. New goal, get me a gaming PC? Absolutely not. I don't ever want to interact with a Windows system again as long as I live. If I can avoid it, not doing it. If I have to in order to do my job, then I will. But in my recreation and private life, nope, not doing it. I don't want to have to interact with them. Not unless they undergo a truly massive change in the entire structure and philosophy of the operating system. Linux, yeah, that's not helpful for all the gaming either, though. Linux is not better for gaming than Mac is. You still need to run fucking Windows for the vast majority of the games, so not doing that. I have done my time in the Windows mines. Lots of it. I know there's a way. There's a way on Mac as well. It doesn't work very well, though. It doesn't work as well. Yeah, I'm not buying a Steam Deck either. Y'all. Oh, just spend a fuck ton of money to get around a thing. No, just tell me about games that are already on the platforms that I already own. How about that? How about have games for the platforms that I already own? Fucking Steam Deck is expensive, y'all. It is not a cheap idea. I've had my Switch for, well, I guess I got it in 2018, I think. And it's great. And I like playing on that. I won't be upgrading to the Switch 2. Husband is getting a Switch 2. Brian has ordered himself a Switch 2. But he had the Switch Lite, so it makes more sense for him to upgrade. We're both pretty casual gamers these days. Valheim is on Mac. Is that through Steam? Fae Farm is on Switch. All right. See, now y'all are you're cooperating. Trying to get me to get a whole new system just so I can play games. We got games at home, damn it. Through Steam. All right. Remind me about that later. Like, send me a message or something, and I will see. I will see about downloading it. Because I'm more than happy to play games through Steam that are actually compatible with Mac. It's been a long time since I've played anything on a Mac, actually. Normally I just use the Switch or my iPad for stuff. There's not a lot of good... I'm doing everything off screen here. I'm sorry. I'm just doing cleanup. There's not a lot of good, like, iPad games, though, I find. Like, in terms of more in-depth stuff. Okay. Gnomes. We gotta pick some gnomes, and we gotta decide on gnome colors. So, in terms of the stamping outline, do we want to stick with the silver so it kind of coordinates, or do we want to do like a black or a white outline and do reverse stamping? What are we thinking? People other than Sassy are also allowed to have an opinion, even though this is Sassy's hand. We can have a collaborative spirit. We're already adding flowers for 2 different people, so... Just to make it explicit that people are allowed to have opinions. What are we thinking? Black outline, white outline, silver outline? Is everybody afraid to express an opinion now? Oh no. We're not allowed to talk. You're all allowed to talk. Even Sassy and Ray. I will make an executive decision if nobody decides anything. This is supposed to be chat chooses my Manny, though. So, you gotta cooperate. I am going to need some colors for reverse stamping. I think I probably need to pull mostly pinks and whites and such. Oh my god, May. What outline color should we stamp the gnomes with, Najwa? Everybody was busy. May was blow drying her hair. Kat's eating. Or, sorry, no, Najwa is eating. Kat is doing her top coat. What outline color should I do for this gnome stamping, you ninnies? I'm gonna pull reverse stamping colors. Alright. We got a pink, we got a purple. High tea hibiscus seems like a good choice. Grab some white and black. Definitely gonna need those. Mimi is saying black. And Kat's saying white. Uh-oh. White for the beards. Silver. I've chosen some interior colors for some of them. You like the fluffy ones in the middle? You mean these ones? We need ones that are holding... Well, I guess we don't really need. I can just add flowers. Everyone else has responsibilities. I am going to be reverse stamping. So keep that in mind. I got a black, a white, and a silver. All right, Sassy, come on. Come through for me here. Pick one of those. Black, white, and silver. You get to be the tiebreaker. Sassy and Ray, y'all are locked in. Everybody else is fucking around. How well does the texture in the beard come through on these fluffy ones? It might be a lot. I have a feeling that one's going to be a lot. We can do a test. Should we do a test with white? Do a test with silver? Let's do a test with silver. Because I have a feeling these ones, these like super furry guys here, might be suboptimal for this. But we'll see. We'll see, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know about these ones. I feel like the ones that are a little more open are going to be a better choice for this. Because it kind of just looks like a weird ice cream cone. Okay, Sylvia is now officially a Pokemon. I am going to make an executive decision that these fluffy ones are not the right choice for this. So I think we should go with ones that are a little bit more open. I think the designs of some of these long ones down here are pretty good. The ones that have less detail and texture are probably the best ones. These guys up here will be good for this. Now, there's a reason I'm saying this, and I know that some of you have like the too much gene, but we already have a noisy background, right? So a noisy background with a noisy stamp with a metallic, it's going to be hard to see any detail, especially if my camera refuses to focus. There we go. It's going to be hard to see any detail. It's all just going to get lost. And so I think that to be a moderating influence on this, I will insist that we use one of the somewhat more simple designs. What too much, Jean? Kat, you are the worst, and I know you know that you're the worst. Okay. So I think I really like this guy here. I really like this guy here that's holding the two balloons. And I really like this guy here. Sylvia, you like the upper three. You're talking about these three here that are in a row. Don't know what this one is carrying. What is this one carrying? I truly cannot tell. Oh, I think it's carrying a stack of presents. Maymay, you have no idea what I'm talking about? With the too much gene? Yeah, you and Kat both. Ridiculous. Okay. So what if we do like these two, this one, and this one? What do we think about that? Does that seem good? It would probably seem better if I was showing you them properly. So like this little guy down here, this little guy down here, and then maybe these two, and then maybe that one, because we need a fifth one. I don't know, that one might be too complicated. We can see. Maybe the kissing one, but you draw a flower so it's like sniffing it. Kissing one. Let me find the kissing one. I believe you that there is a kissing one. Oh, wait, you mean these ones here? Is that the one you're talking about? I don't see anything else that looks like it's kissing. So I think you might be talking about that one. That is a cute option. Why do you love the unicorn horn? Top right? Yeah, that's the one I was thinking. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's start with this little guy down here. We'll do silver. We'll do reverse stamping. I'm going to need more stampers. And I see Jammy Dodgers got down. We've lost our cat, Camera Cat. A tragedy. All right. Let me just get my lids off of my stampers. I assume that the colors that I chose for reverse stamping are acceptable. Sassy. I can't imagine you saying no to pink and purple. But if you want a different color, let me know. Okay. So I will start with this little guy down here, and then we will go from there. And I'm going to be removing the balloons from these so that we can replace them with flowers. Hopefully without screwing them up too badly. All right, there we go. There's number one. Now, number two. Oh, there's little kissing guys down here too. They're just individual. So I can grab one of those ones. All right. I feel like this one that does not have flowers behind its back, because why would it be kissing a flower when it already has a flower behind its back? That seems weird. It just seems inconsistent to me. You know what I mean? Like, kiss the flower you got, buddy. You don't need to be holding flowers in one hand and then kissing different flowers. It's just selfish. Save some flowers for other people. Other gnomes. There we go. Yeah, it's a lantern and wren plate. Love you no matter what. It's a super cute one. I really, really like it. And I haven't gotten a lot of chances to use it yet, so I'm delighted to have an excuse. Okay, and then this guy here. I think Jammy Dodgers might be engaging the salad bar. Which is what we call the cat grass. We have an upstairs cat grass and a downstairs cat grass. Because, of course, we have an upstairs cat and, well, 2 upstairs cats and a downstairs cat. There are some crossover experiences, of course, but I feel like this guy is going to end up needing, like, multiple flowers, like one for each hand or something. That might need to be the thumb one, and then I can put a flower on both sides. Y'all can't even see that because we're focusing on the wrong thing, camera. All right, there we go. Yeah, I feel like this one, if I put this one on the thumb and have a flower on each hand. The plate is on sale. Yeah, it's an older plate, I think. I think it's a couple years old. Okay, so let's go with, I think, a little, here, I need to clean this anyway. I'll just use this. We'll use a little of this mid-purple. This is Purple Queen Antheus, I think, from Dimension Nails. It's technically a neon One of those neons that kind of doesn't really quite look as neon as some others, but still very fun under black light. And what are we going to do about this dude's nose? Should it be a bright red nose? Do I need to have grabbed red as well? A little purple and pink friend. I guess that was probably his beard, huh? That I just painted in pink. Was that wrong? I think that was wrong. I should do that again. All right, hang on. Listen, I never said I was smart, okay? Don't worry, we're gonna take care of this. Where is that guy? He's up here. We're gonna try this again, but we're gonna make his beard a reasonable color. Cotton candy gnome. Yeah. Oopsie. You know, sometimes the brain just isn't fully attached, and I think that that's okay. We'll just do that again. And then everything will be fine. Just freaking cat hair all over my Scotch tape piece. All right, what are we talking about here? You love it, leave it? Well, it's too late now. Can you see how he looks? No. Nope. Nope. Sorry. He is perfectly reserved on the tape, you're right. There he is on the tape. With his little pink beard. He was a beautiful boy. But he's been replaced with a standard model. And we still did not determine what color his nose is going to be. Should I pull a red for his nose? Or are we going to do some kind of flesh tone for his nose? You got a screenshot of him? Yeah, cat hair is like glitter. It is the worst. Okay. Let's do this hat again. I don't know why I was like thinking that that part was like his little robe. And clearly it was not. Okay, let's do his shoes and robe in pink. Because I feel like that will go well with his hat. I still don't have an answer about what color this boy's nose is going to be. And actually his hands as well. I guess I'll just grab a couple of vaguely skin tone-ish colors. All right. I think we'll just do some mix and match here to come up with some good colors for our various different gnome friends here. I think the nose needs to be a little more on the peachy side. That might not be red enough. It's probably not red enough. But we'll see. We'll see how we go here. That seems like a good gnome nose color. There we go. And then do his little hands. There we go. There's our little gnome friend. We'll set him aside. Number 1. Number 2. All the gnomes are going to have white beards, okay? Rainbow nose variation like Care Bears. That's kind of a fun idea. Now I'm sad I didn't see that before doing that one. I could still kind of make it work, I guess, but it does make it a bit more challenging. I'm definitely doing all white beards, though. I have decreed it. I'm just going to go ahead and do all the beards. I think this is your beard. Is this your beard? This looks like a beard. It's hard to tell, really. This is a different sort of weird one. Okay. This guy has a great big beard. Holy cow, that's a big beard. You can't be, oh my god, yesing an idea that I've already halfway ruined. It is a really cute idea, though. I could just do, like, slightly desaturated versions of all of them. Different colors. That could be fun. And gosh, is that... I can't even tell what part is what on this. I guess this is the beard and it's doing like a thing. It's just looping around. It is a fun alt pride idea. I do really like that idea. Now I could probably actually just go over that one after it's on the nail and just paint over it with whatever color we wanted it to be. So yeah, that's totally an option. We can do little rainbow noses. All right. So now we need more of our pinks and purples for the other outfits. You have the cute new animal plate. Which animal plate is that? Cute new animal plate from whom? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'll do it at the end with the dotting tool. All right. I think this guy probably needs to have just like... I'm not even sure what part this is. What part is this? Is that some kind of hood? Who knows? Truly cannot tell. Let's see. I'm thinking we go with this color for his robe. I definitely mixed in some of the other color. It doesn't seem to be visible there, so I think it's okay. Uber chic, tiny little animals. Lots of stamping polishes and a pile of plates from What's Up. Did I see that haul? I guess I didn't. I must have missed that. Okay, I think this one needs to have a pink hat. And then are the noses going to go in rainbow order then? Is that what we're thinking? They'd be lined up. I see Jamie has reclaimed her perch, having decided that she is probably not going to be allowed to leave anytime soon. Not that she's trapped in here, but the other cat is out in the hallway. And I don't want to have to get up and deal with all of that. Okay. Roy GB or Roy GP? Seems like Roy GB would work better given how much purple I have in the rest of it. I don't know, what do you think? I feel like it might be challenging to fit in a purple one without having it kind of blend in with the rest of his outfit. You know what I mean? Okay. I like their goofy little feet. They're just very silly. And by little, I mean enormous. Because, holy heck. I actually have a bit of a gnome collection. Brian and I sort of semi-accidentally started collecting gnomes a while ago. And so it started with just Christmas gnomes, but now we have like Halloween gnomes and Valentine's Day gnomes and such. But we also have skeletons for all the holidays. So I feel like it's basically like a gnomes and skeletons theme. Okay. Roy GB. Let's do... So this guy is going to be on my thumb, which means he's going to get the red. So we need red, we need orange, we need green, blue, this one. Yellow. Okay. So red I will set aside because that's going to go on this guy after he gets stamped. And then the rest of these I guess we'll just sort of choose semi-randomly who gets what. Except I think this one needs to go on the pinky. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Because... are they about the same size? This one's slightly shorter, so I'll do this one on the pinky. So that one's going to be blue. Oh my god. And blue was like fully feeling like it was going to be stuck. Like problematically stuck. Okay, there's the blue. And then green, let's go with this guy. Oi. This guy doesn't have very much of his nose showing. I might need to actually give him a little more nose than he actually has with the dotting tool after it's stamped on. I feel like that is insufficient nose. You knows what I mean? All right, yellow. I just realized I didn't color that one's sleeves. So I need to do that as well. And then orange. There we go. That feels like a lot of polish. There. A nose job? Yes. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum. So we need sticky base. Stinky base. So I'm going to put this first one that I did on the thumb because I think he can hold 2 flowers. Nose job. Oh, Sylvia. That's a good pun. I'll tell you what, with the size of these gnomes, I don't know how well the type of flower is going to really come across, but we'll do our best. It might be that I have to do a different Stargazer lily down the road for Ponks just to like get a decent Stargazer lily Manny, because I think this is going to be too small. But maybe we can make it close enough. Okay, so there's our little thumb friend. And then pinky. I think I have to do this one down a little bit so that I will have space. There we go. Cut off his feet a little bit, but I think that's okay. I'll just do a little cleanup there and get rid of those feet. He didn't need those feet anyway. Right? Okay, let's make sure that I'm not doing these out of order. We do know how a rainbow works. Cut off his feet a little bit too. Again, it's fine. Everything's fine. Nobody's really using their feet anyway. It's more important to have a little bit of room for the flowers than it is to have feet, right? I think that's how that works. Would I personally choose flowers over feet for myself? Probably not. But I'm not a gnome, so, you know. Oh, that's where I put those. Like, where the heck did I put the lids for these? Duh. Okay. One more. And then we get to the hand painting portion. Ah! Feet aren't real. Walking is an illusion. Flowers are better than feet. I just think if you're a roly-poly gnome with a great big bushy beard, you just roll places. You'll be fine. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. Okay. Let us first get this guy, his little nose. All right. Here we go. Everybody wish me luck, because I'm trying to preserve the silver outline. There we go. I did it. They started out rolling. They hating. Y'all. I feel like this guy also was supposed to have some little red lips. I'm just going to give him a little hint of red here. Just a tiny little bit. What else we got? Yeah, this guy's little green nose is not showing up. So I'm going to give him a little bit more nose. Give him a nose job, and then also I'm going to add a little bit of a silver ring around that because I need to make the whole thing a bit bigger. So we need to do some serious detail work here. We're going to make a great big nose for this fella. There we go. And then get a little bit of silver stamping polish here. And try and do just the tiniest, thinnest little line. Ta-da! All right. Good enough. Okay, now we need to do some flowers. Small noses are valid. Okay, so that kind of lily that that Ponks asked for is a white lily with sort of fuchsia center. Maybe I should look up a picture so I'm at least sort of vaguely right. Star Gazer Lily. Enter. Images. The hell? Some sort of little fly. Okay, there we go. I have a picture. Let's open that in a new tab. Should I put it on screen? I should probably put it on screen, huh? Let's put it on screen. All right. Hey, you. You, window capture. Where are you? Where are you, Safari? This one? There we are. That's the one. Okay. Yes. There it is. It's not very big. The picture I found isn't very big. And also, it refuses to make the window smaller. But that's okay. So that's the flower I'm going for. That's what I'm trying to make. So I think this guy is going to be holding probably like one on each hand, and somebody will have to tell me, I think it was Sylvia that requested some kind of an iris. Was it a specific kind of iris? Or was it just an iris in general? Hopefully I can make this kind of look like a lily. One big leaf up there, or petal rather. And then there's going to be another one in the background over here. So we got that, and then we have a little bit of a yellowy greeny center. General purple iris. Okay, it was you, Najwa. All right. I'm going to have to look up a purple iris because I don't really remember what they look like. The gnomes worship the sacred flower. That explains why they would be willing to sacrifice their feet for them. Okay, a little yellow, a little dab of green, a little more white. That's going to be in the center here. We need a little more yellow there. And then we get the pinks happening, and I think that my high tea hibiscus will be a good choice here. So this will be the center color for each flower, and we're going to have to sort of fade out to the white. You know, I'm doing my best. Hopefully someone will be able to figure out what the heck they're looking at when they look at this. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. I'm gonna need a lot more white polish here. Oh, because the purple iris kind of went with the general Revlon color. That makes sense. All right, I'm doing a little blendy here. Kind of just trying to work that high tea hibiscus in with the white a little bit. And I'm not going to worry too much about like realism because this is too small for that. It would be stupid to try and get too realistic. I just want to kind of get it so that it looks sort of like a lily. Like lily adjacent. Okay, and then it's got these like things that stick out, but I feel like if I try too hard to put those in, then we're just going to end up with problems. So let's just leave it at that. And then we'll do some little green stems. You're old. Are you dried up? You're pretty dried up. Yeah, making a huge mess. That's going to cause me some problems later. And we'll just do a little bit of stem here. Again, I'm not going to worry too much about that. We're just going to suggest it. All right. There's our little stargazer lily. I think it kind of works. And then should we do an iris on the other hand? Or should we leave this one with just one flower and then do an iris on one of the other ones? I feel like I put him kind of off center. I'm not sure if he can really hold more than one. Maybe we should do... Let's see, what does an iris look like? Iris, flower. Make this bigger, please. Please get bigger. Oh gosh, that's right. They're like those things. Oh boy, that's complicated. Okay. All right. So, yeah. All right. I like this flower here. So let's open that one in a new tab and just go with that. And then move this over a little bit. There we go. Okay. So this I will want a different purple for. Bootyful. I'm talking about my booty. I think we need this one for this. This is Starly Gravity. Seems like a better purple for this iris. Okay. And it's probably going to need a brighter purple to get mixed in with it, isn't it? Or a little lavender. Maybe we mix a little lavender. Okay, who gets this? I think this guy in the middle... Whoop! Oh boy. This guy in the middle deserves an iris. Yeah, the Starly Purple is really good. This was from their thing with Kelly Marissa, the box that they did. I can't remember what the actual name of the box was, but it was a pretty good box. It had that and a really nice dark gray. And like a couple of flakies, and I can't remember what else. There's like 2 flakies, 2 maybe shimmery things, and then 2 crumbs. I think that was it. Okay, so you've got like 1 there. So then, if we start adding in some lavender, we can get like a little bit of highlighted area. I don't know about this, y'all. It's a complicated flower to try and do this small. Hopefully it will look a little bit like an iris, but I don't know. Okay, we need some yellow. Bum, 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 bum. It's not really quite the right yellow, but I don't really have a really, like, lemony yellow creme. And I feel strongly that I need one. But I haven't seen one that is good. I feel like that's kind of it. I don't know. Does it even look like a... I don't know if it really looks like an iris, y'all. I mean, I think you can tell it's a flower. I don't know if you can tell it's an iris. Now, the stem on that is the silver. I am going to just go over the stem with some green, though, because it was originally supposed to be balloon string, and I feel like it makes sense to just fill it with some green instead. There we go. YOLO yellow, the sinful colors one. I don't have any sinful colors at all. It wasn't something that I ever saw in Canada, although I have heard rumors that it has at times been possible to get. Okay, we have more. Do we do more of the same kind of flowers, or we do different kind of flowers? I feel like we might want to do different kind of flowers, huh? Do we want a different flower on every nail? Is that how we want to roll? Could do like, maybe like a Gerbera or something. This guy's gonna be kissing one. Dollarama has them on occasion. See, that's so funny. I just never really went into Dollarama, so. Except for like, that's not true. I did occasionally go into Dollarama for things like Christmas decor. Lighter color flowers. Let's do like a yellow. I feel like this guy here wants like a big orange or yellow Gerbera to be sniffing or kissing. Yeah, daisies. I freaking love a daisy. Let's go somewhere in between orange and yellow. I'm especially a fan of the Gerbera daisies, the big ones. Dollarama was your student life staple. Here's the thing. I was a student in my 30s. So, and I had been married for a while. And yeah, it just wasn't... Like, there wasn't really stuff that I would even need that I would go to a Dollarama for. For a good chunk of time there. So, yeah. It kind of wasn't until after... when I was, like, single again in my early 40s and living on my own and trying to get by on more of a budget that I really sort of discovered Dollarama. Okay, I think I've gone and like cut off my my access to my acetone here. I put a bunch of different polish bottles like right in front of my acetone like an idiot. Okay, I want a little bit more orangey in some spots of this here and a little bit more yellowy in some parts of it. Just give it a little bit more sort of color texture here. It was really good in the 2010s. I mean, I believe you. I feel like dollar stores weren't really a viable option for most things until I was sort of mostly past the point of needing dollar stores. Which doesn't mean I, don't occasionally go into a dollar store anyway, but yeah, it's like, I don't know. I feel like at one point there used to be, for a long time actually, there used to be a lot more like social norms against like dollar store and thrifting and cheaper places. Like, you only go to those places if you're poor, and poor is shameful, and blah blah blah. Like, there's sort of all that weird stuff. Like, bear in mind I'm older than all of you, and I don't think that necessarily makes my experience sort of universal with all older people, but there used to just be different attitudes towards a lot of that stuff. And so it wasn't until I was a fair bit into my adulthood that it sort of became acceptable and reasonable for, just anybody to shop at those kinds of places and have it not be like weirdly frowned on. I don't know. It also might just be, the specific sort of context that I grew up in. Okay. There's our little daisy huffer here. All dollar stores before Dollarama were pretty bad. Yeah, that makes sense too. Dollar Tree for gift bags and cards. Yeah. I think that was like a lot of what I ended up going there for as well, was gift bags and stuff. But okay, so we have a little Gerbera daisy for our little daisy huffer there. What else do we need? Should we do like, I don't know. Somebody tell me what flower to do. Knickknacks. Oh, kids craft stuff. Oh yeah, they got all the good, like, just like cheap notebooks and markers and stuff like that. Popsicle sticks, for sure. That's definitely the place to go for those things. I need flower suggestions. In the meantime, I'm gonna top coat my other hand while y'all tell me I need 2 more flower types. Daffodil, chrysanthemum, lily of the valley. That's a cute idea. I like the daffodilly idea. I really like daffodillies. Marigold, that's a cute one. I feel like, so daffodilly is usually more, and yes, I always call it that. You know what? I don't even notice that it's wrong anymore. It's just what they're called. They're daffodillies. I don't know where I ever picked it up. Peony, ooh. That would be very hard at this scale to make it look like anything but just a puffball. Not the Canadian hand, or else I would have said trillium. Aw, that's cute. Okay, let's see. I feel like Maybe Lily of the Valley with this guy, like maybe because that's one of the ones that like goes it like swoops over and has flowers dangling off down, right? So I feel like it would be cute to have that go like behind this guy, and then maybe on this guy do a daffodilly. Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right thing here. So let's close that, close that. What did I just, oh yeah, daffodil. Lily of the Valley is what I wanted to look up. Lily of the Valley. Okay. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Okay. Yeah, I think that would be cute behind this one here. Because this one doesn't really have like a hand up to hold anything, but if it's just like kind of going behind, I think that would be adorable. And then, yeah, and then this one we could do a daffodil. Mexican aster? It's a Mexican aster. Mexican aster. Oh, cute. Those are very pretty. Hmm. A dandelion that's a seed head. That would be hard on this background to make it look like anything. That I would do on a more like a solid creme background or something. All right, so what are we thinking? We got Mexican asters, which are these incredibly cute things that are up on the screen right now. We got Lily of the... Whoop, that's not the one I wanted to move. Oh, shit. This one. Move you. So that's the Mexican aster. We got the Lily of the Valley, which I had up on the screen a moment ago. There. These guys. And we got daffodils, which I think you all know what those look like. Pick two. Which one of those three are you voting off the island? Don't just shout a name and have me not know whether you're talking about one that you want it to be or one that you want to vote off the island, because I've made it confusing by using that statement. Yeah! I just knocked over my acetone. Lily and Mexican aster. Yeah, if you name two things, then I think it's fair for me to assume that you mean to keep those two. Jammy Dodgers has started snoring again. Paint daffodil and lily. We got a lily and an aster. It might be Lily and Aster. I got 2 votes for Lily and Aster. Sassy, the betrayal. She's being such a good little Dodgers. Look at that little kitty. So sleepy. She's such a good girl. Okay. Okay, well, we're definitely doing the lily. So let's start with that. And it sounds like y'all have pretty much decided on doing the aster. Just want to find a good... That's the kind of photo I want for this, I think. Open image in new tab, please and thank you. Musumbi hates water, but he kept walking into the rain puddles and then shaking his paws. That's extremely silly. Okay, so we're going to simplify this down a little bit for obvious reasons. So I'm trying to like, there's too many things on the screen is the problem. Whoop, don't move that. Don't move that. Stop grabbing that. I want you to grab this. Stop grabbing that. Please grab this. Move it off to the side. Jeez Louise. Aster looks a lot like the iPhone flower. I think you're right, actually. You want an all gray cat? Be cautious, because here's the problem with an all gray cat. Do you wear a lot of black clothes? They're gray now. Do you like white clothes? They're gray now. There's no safe color. All your clothes are gray now. Everything is gray now. That's the only problem. Other than that, I absolutely approve of the idea of having gray cats. I'm a big fan. I love my babies. I think they're incredibly cute. But also, yes, you not only can you never wear white clothes, you can also never wear black clothes ever again for the rest of your life. Also goes for furniture. All of our furniture is gray. Okay. So the white is mostly not 100% white. It's like white with a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of, that's not really quite the right color of green. I feel like I want just a bare hint of yellow in that. I should have probably grabbed a different green, but I already have so many polishes out. I'm like, that's better. Your friend has a gray tripod? That's adorable. We used to have an absolutely insane tripod dog that was just the most. We didn't have him for very long. He was like a temporary dog. We were kind of, I guess, fostering sort of ish, keeping him for a friend. We were sort of on a lot of property and they needed to not have a dog for a while. So for whatever reason, I was pretty young, so I'm not entirely clear on what exactly the deal was, but yeah, so we had this ridiculous tripod dog named Sky for a while. And Sky was a cutie. All right. I'm just kind of hinting at some sort of little flower shapes. I think this is getting the idea across. And then I'm going to add just a tiny little bit of some actually white highlights, because those are not quite white. I'm literally just doing a speck on there. You won't even be able to see it on that camera, I expect. Certainly not from this distance, but... And then I need to do, I think, just a little bit of a hint of some little mini, oh boy, nope. You're gonna have to get watered down a little bit, or that's gonna be a problem. You're too thick. Too thick. You just need some itty bitty little stemlets coming off of these. Stick them to that. Stick them to the stem that they're on. Yes, hopefully the cat distribution system will give you a gray cat. One doesn't always get to have one's choice in what kind of cat one is blessed with, but there we go. I think that's pretty good. You're covered in gray, orange, and white fur. Yeah. We of course, now that we have not just the 2 gray cats, but also the calico, there's no hope for us. Okay, last one. We decided on the Mexican aster, so let us go and look that up again. Mexican aster. And what color do we want to do? White? Maybe we should do a white one. We don't have any white flower. Well, I guess we just did a little bit of the valley. We could do a yellow. We could do an orange. All right, Sassy. It's your time to shine. What color Mexican aster are we doing? They come in all colors. Pick a color. Sassy, everybody's waiting for you. Really, what's happening is that we're waiting for chat to catch up with me. Light pink. Okay. Light pink. So I feel like that one, is that the one that we're thinking about? Or yeah, I think this, yeah. I feel like that's a good one. Open link in new tab. I opened the link instead of the picture, but that's okay. Good enough. Yeah, with the yellow center. Okay, super good. I really like this one. It's very pretty. I think I'm going to need a combination of my pink and my magenta and my yellow and probably a little bit of green as well. But let's start with the pink. And we're gonna go. So it looks like you've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flowers? Or 8 petals, rather. And they've got these kind of serrated edges. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that at this scale, but we'll see what we can do about those. Just get the rough shape in first. And then go from there. Okay. Let's see here. We need our magenta. Yeah, I think this is a nice one because it's really, it like goes with all the other colors that we've done. But it's also completely different shape and everything from all the other flowers, so it's really pretty. Good choice. I really like asters in general. I think they're super pretty. Get this little bit of like sort of halo fringy kind of thing happening, a little bit of a gradient. And then we're going to have our bright yellow center. I just got King of Carrot Flowers in my head for some reason. Nobody knows why. It totally does look like the apple flower emoji. That's very funny. I do think that that one's supposed to be a cherry blossom. That emoji. But who the hell knows? All right, bright yellow. And then we're going to need a little bit of green for our stem. Heather, we got a lurker. Coming out of hiding. It's a good song. That's very funny. And welcome. All right. It always reminds you of decorating your Yule bush with your beloved. Aw, that's adorable. All right. We finished, y'all. Okay, let me get the things out of the screen that the camera is going to want to preferentially focus on instead of my nails. Uh-oh, this thing is starting to blink. It's been a couple hours, apparently. Yeah, it's the 2.5 hour limit for this one light here, which thankfully it's like not a super critical light. But it does make a little bit of a difference. Yeah, you never know what's going to get someone to actually come out of hiding and say something. Let's also do our seal coat here, because that white is for sure going to streak with top coat if I do not put a seal glaze on it. The other colors would probably be okay, but the white would definitely streak. Y'all, I was worried about letting you be in charge of my Manny, because sometimes you make some pretty crazy decisions, but I gotta say, this is pretty cute. This is pretty cute. All right, so this guy's got our Stargazer Lily for Pinky Ponks. Somebody screenshot that and send it to Pinky Ponks. And then we have our cute little Lily of the Valley. And our purple iris. And then yellow/orange gerbera. And then we have our pink Mexican aster. And these little guys are adorable. And then our Canadian Chaos hand with the incredibly bad Canadian grocery store crumbs. And the less bad, actually surprisingly decent Canadian drugstore topper, followed by a randomly pulled plate with a randomly selected design. Yeah, it is festive in a non-wintry way. And I'm into that. I think it's supposed to be like a Valentine's plate, but I don't really understand Valentine's Day. Like, the whole concept of it confuses me. You think the topper needs another coat on the Canadian hand? You might be right about that. Let's go for it. Let's add another topper coat, because that silver stamp really did cover up a lot of it. That is a good idea. Bring back some of that good hollow. I'm pretty sure it's a combination of hollow and iridescent. I haven't tried it like, I haven't tried to like really examine the individual particles over like a black base or something. I kind of want to now. But something about the way that it clings to the bottle feels like it's got like a large particle iridescent shimmer or something. Let me hang on. I just feel like I want to know. I'm just gonna get the dust off of this. I want to know. Oh, that 100% has an iridescent particle in it, in addition to the hollow. Absolutely. It's like a purple and green and blue shimmer that's a larger particle but not a flake, and then it also has hollow glitter that is like a mid, sort of the size of the scattered hollow taco particle, maybe slightly bigger. But yeah, that's an interesting combo. I don't know if y'all can really tell what I'm looking at here, but it's 100% definitely both a shimmer and a hollow. So that's what we got on there now. Like, surprisingly nice topper for a cheap drugstore one. I am surprised. I am pleasantly surprised by this Manny. There we go. Get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. Pleasantly surprised, y'all. Y'all pulled together a pretty darn good Manny. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, the hollow and frostlight for a second there was really banging. All right, so the base on this hand was this, I don't even know, 7 or 8 year old maybe amethyst smoke from Revlon with hollow taco frostlight that needed desperately to be revived. And then the stamping plate, again, for anybody who wanted to check that out, apparently on sale right now at Lantern and Wren, is Love You No Matter What. So cute stamping plate. So that's this hand, and then the flowers all free-handed. And then this hand, for any potential Canadians that may or may not come around, I don't even know if Joe Fresh still does nail polish, but there was a beautiful short period of time when I could find Joe Fresh nail polish in the grocery store, as well as the Joe Fresh store in Loblaws and in Joe Fresh stores. They were briefly available, and then I stopped seeing them after a while, so I don't know if they even exist anymore, but those were from there. The topper, a shockingly good Quo topper from Shoppers Drug Mart. Really way better than it has any right to be. This is called Put a Ring on It. And then, what plate was that? This was our random poll plate. Also happens to be a Lantern and Wren one called Lead Lighting 2, or LED lighting too. I don't know. Is it lead lighting or is it LED lighting? I think it's LED lighting, but I'm not sure. If one of you knows, tell me. Yeah, and so we pulled just a random. This was a very random random section, random plate, random design off of the plate. 100% random. So that's what we got there. I need to do regular top coat on everybody, and then that's going to be it, and we'll be done. May, all I know is Valentine's Day means discounted chocolate the next day. Yeah, that's literally the only use I have for Valentine's Day. I don't understand it as a holiday. I think it's weird and pressury, and which does not mean that I don't think other people should enjoy it. I just don't get it for myself. I think that everybody should enjoy whatever special days that are meaningful to them. I just feel like a lot of people put too much pressure on one specific day to have extra meaning, and then if it doesn't go perfectly for whatever reason, they don't cope well with it. And I feel that that is sad. So if you love Valentine's Day and you think it is wonderful and the best and you have a great time with your partner or on your own, that is awesome. And I am absolutely not in any way knocking that. Get some good photos of it? Oh, I'm definitely going to. Yeah. I probably won't take photos of the Canadian hand, sorry Ray, but I dinged it a lot. It's pretty messed up, and it's hard for me to. So the barrier for me to take photos of my right hand is higher because I have to rearrange all of my lights and cameras and everything in order to take those photos. And so it has to be a pretty special manicure for me to be like, yes, I'm going to take a photo of that. So, so the Canadian one is not going to have photos taken of it, but we can still appreciate it. Ray, you've never seen Joe Fresh polish? Frostlight, my love. Yes, it's very good. Yeah, I don't know that Joe Fresh does polish at all anymore. They might not. I also have like some of my very favorite tank tops of all time are discontinued Joe Fresh from their like fitness line. Just get meh photos for Discord? Okay, I'll do that. I'll get some meh photos for Discord of this one just so that we have a record of it. But this one's getting the full treatment because I think it's cute as heck. All right. That's going to be it, y'all. Let me shoot you on over to Jammy Dodgers again for a final Jammy Dodgers wrap up. Jammy Dodgers, are you being adorable? He says, why the fuck are you waking me up? Why would you do that to me? Poor Jammy. She is ready. Oh, big yawn. She is ready to go to bed. I'm not yet, but soon. All right. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for hanging out with me. I don't know what we're doing next week, but we're doing something, so we'll figure it out then, I guess. Actually, next week might be... I'll have to just double check this, but I think next week I can show off the Plus Life jellies, the upcoming collection. So that might be the next live stream. I've already done a mani with them, which was super fun, and I can't wait to show you. But also I want to try to do some lazy gradienting with them, and I haven't done that yet. So that might be next week. I'm going to double check it, but I'll let y'all know. All right. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next time. Don't forget to do the liking and subscribing and all of that shit. It helps me. Maybe we can get some more people here eventually. Not that I don't love just hanging out with y'all, but it'd be nice to have a bigger crowd, you know? All right. It's okay, Heather. You're allowed to lurk. We love the lurkers just as much as we love the people talking. It's just very funny when you suddenly yell about the one offhand comment.